How's it going, guys? We got the door on. Patches are fully welded, front and rear. I'm fitting it to make sure everything's good. Then I'll pop it back off. Door right on, mint with the setup here, even with this hinge loose. When I was done, just open and close the door. Put it on the striker, rested it in the hinge, slid the door back a hair, put the pin in, called it good, left it loose, put the other pin in, adjusted the bottom of the door to where it had to be, so there was no other adjustment with that hinge. And that's it, it works good. Why didn't I videotape today? I got half the lights out. I didn't videotape today because I wasn't not in the mood. No sleep last night. Don't know why, but no sleep last night. Maybe there was a reason why, I just didn't know it. So I went to bed maybe like 5 o'clock in the morning. Got up for 7:30, took a shower, went to the show, you guys saw that. Came back home, sat down. I don't know, maybe a half hour later, I hear my wife call up my name, and you could tell by the voice that something was wrong. So I just dropped the computer and ran. You just know by someone's voice. She wasn't crying, it was just, there was something wrong. So I go running downstairs, and she's standing there, and I didn't know what happened. I didn't know if she was hurt or something happened to my mother. I really didn't know. But to find out that Chicken Little, who was Junior's pet for just coming on 12 years now, was attacked and skinned last night. I'll say it like that. And my wife walked outside to feed her today, because you know they take turns, and she opened up the cage to find the bird all skinned. I found out later because I was the one that took the bird out. So yeah, it just made us sad. I posted a picture in the beginning of the video. You could see how young Junior was when we got Chicken Little. We got Chicken Little. Junior hatched Chicken Little. There's a difference. Friend Tom, up by Ruben, kinda, not really. Raises showbirds. Okay, I mean that's not his living. That was his hobby. He had all his sons into it. They have a barn full of first places, you know, ribbons hanging all over the place. And basically what he did was, after his kids left, actually one of his kids got into it. One of his kids went to college for something, and now the kid is some kind of he works with these places that conserve these endangered species, and he helps breed them. All I know is he had an average of 125 to 150 birds at one time, all showbirds. He had emus, he had geese, he had some birds that I didn't even know existed there. You know, so some would bring him there and they'd take care of him, then they would leave. But to make a long story short, Junior was up there with me one day when he was little, like 7. And he was into the chickens, and my friend said, "Hey, why don't I give you a couple of eggs and an incubator?" Okay. I had ducks when I was a kid. You know, this was considered country when I was a kid. I practically touched my neighbor's house, but my parents, you know, came out of Queens. So, make a long story short, Chicken Little hatched, and that was it. You know, that's even better than going to the store and buying it. You know, you just created it in so many words. So he took care of it from, you know, when it was little. And he named it Chicken Little. I guess that's when the movie was hot. I really don't remember. I'm sure it was. And I took a couple of pictures of it when it matured and brought it to my friend, and my friend was amazed because he only had one of those birds left. Someone had eaten the mother or the father. And I'm not into showbirds. I don't have a clue. They all look the same to me, just like a dog all looks the same. I really don't know. I just know there was something special about Chicken Little's feet and the coloring of Chicken Little's feet. Forget about the shape of everything else. And he wanted us to show it. I didn't want to deal with that. He basically showed the birds to pay for his feed for a year. So you bring him to the fairs, they leave him there, they judge him, you get the first place, you get money, and you buy feed and take care of his animals. He even had animals in the house, in cages and stuff that he was healing and doing whatever. But to make a long story short, Chicken Little was a couple of years old, laying eggs every day, or at least 5 times a week. And we decided we're going to take him up to Connecticut and breed her. It was a hen. And we put her with 4 or 5 roosters. I don't know. We did other stuff throughout the day. All I know, there's a lot of noise. And needless to say, when Chicken Little came back, she started laying eggs. She laid a whole load of eggs and sat on them and would not get off these eggs. Not. And a month passed, or whatever time passed, long past the hatching date. And I'm talking to my friend. He goes, "You got to take the eggs away." I said, "But you won't let me in there." I said, "He goes, you got to do it. She'll die sitting there." So I'm like, okay. She's skinny as a rail. I take the eggs away. From that day on, Chicken Little hated me. I would go open the door, and this was a bird that you'd hold it upside down like a baby, pet it on its head, it would fall asleep, and its head would go to the side. Okay, that's the way the bird was with Junior. Okay, and I used to be able to pick her up and do the same thing. And some of my earlier videos, she was in the garage with me. After that day, whenever I opened up that door, she would jump up and put all her claws, talons, tangs, I don't know what the freak you call the feet, right at me. She would just like hop up and put them at me in the beak at the same time. And I'd be like, holy crap. And this went on probably for the last 7-8 years. So I refused to feed her, even though I thought she was the coolest thing in the world. She just hated me. She just hated me. I don't think she hated me for all the intercourse. I think she hated me for taking the eggs away. So with that said, it's been a quiet day. So, and it goes back to what we said the other day. Are you in the garage alone? No, I'm not in the garage alone. I thought about everybody and everything in the last 12 years. And the happiness, the bird brought Junior in the family. To us it was like the dog, even though we have a dog. So, with that said, the door's on the car. It's fully welded. I put spot welds or tacks on the backside to join those gaps. Ground them, called it good. I welded around the lip. I just put the spoon there, and with the spoon underneath the edge, I start at the spoon and I go whoop and come up and out, and it does not burn the edge of the metal. So definitely a way to go if you're going to weld edges. Just put the spoon there, sucks the heat right in, does not burn through the edge of the metal. So yeah, it was working good today with my Harbor Freighter. I don't know, everything's here in a pile. You can even see the slit. Oh no, that slit was probably from doing all the welding yesterday. No, that's from where I was holding it under there. So, with that said, guys, I'm calling it. I'm going in the house. I'm glad the door's back on the car. We're actually going to slide it off this time. Now that I know the back adjustment is right, I'm going to door glass and bondo that backside and put in a little bit of primer and put it back on the car and be done with it. Not like the other side. I don't want to do it sitting there. And I'm going to work a little bit on that dent while it's off. It's just easier on the body. It's so low to the ground. So, and we should be good. Very little warpage. Believe it or not, the big patch was the least or less warpage of the two. So I don't know if it's because the other patch is so small and it immediately turns to get very slight where you welded the two together, you get the dip down. Nothing drastic, nothing crazy, nothing I'm worried about. So it is what it is, guys. I think this is going to be the plain white wrapper car for now. And that's it. I was thinking of this thing when I was driving to the show. I had all these cars passing me. Well, they were passing me, but it's almost embarrassing. But all these cars that are now, what do they call them? Like the, I can't think of it, like the roadkill cars where the outsides aren't done, but the motors are done. And it seems to be the new scene. It's affordable. So, and I just kept saying to myself, oh man, if we were only cruising the Concord. I wasn't even thinking of the wagon. I could have brought the wagon today. I had such little sleep. I knew that I just didn't want to deal with it. So I just jumped in the Corolla and went. So, okay guys, I think I've rambled for a million years here. We'll be back out here tomorrow. I had to get something done today, so we'll be back out here tomorrow and let's keep chugging along. That's the last patch panel, I'm thinking. I don't know of any other holes, except, the holes in the top of the roof here, which I'm not patching, and I don't think there's any other patch holes. Just little molding holes and stuff that we have to work on. So, okay guys, I'm out here. Take care. It's been fun.